Attention military veterans and military personnel. This is Tracy from Lakewood College, and I am excited to announce the new partnership between ETA Associates and Jamal King's Make Real Estate Real. Give me a call so I can see if you qualify to receive the Make Real Estate Real with no out-of-pocket expense to you. I can be reached at 1-800-517-0857. My extension is 700. You may also visit us at www.money4bets.com. Again, that is money4bets.com. You may also schedule an appointment with me through my text-only number at area code 216-678-9933. I look forward to speaking with you all.
Man, we sit up here and clown these athletes and these dudes made all this money and he broke. He ain't go broke just spending that on himself. He went broke because when you black and you make it, you still looking at the $17,000 for everybody else.
This week, our show is brought to you by our partner in crime, Organifi. Organifi is an organic superfood supplement line that makes quality, trusted nutrition convenient and accessible. Their most popular product, green juice, can supercharge your life, restore that glow, and help you feel decades younger in just 30 seconds per day without having to worry about shopping for ingredients, mixing and blending them, and then cleaning up afterwards. All ingredients are USDA organic, vegan-friendly, and made without GMO ingredients, gluten, or soy. Where else can you get superfoods like chlorella, moringa, spirulina, wheatgrass, ashwagandha, and turmeric, just to name a few? So make sure you guys check it out at www.organifi.com/success. That's ORGANIFI.com/success.
This episode of the Secrets to Success podcast is brought to you by HelloFresh. That's right, your #1 podcast meets America's #1 meal kit. Get pre-measured ingredients and mouth-watering seasonal recipes delivered right to your door, contact-free. HelloFresh lets you skip those trips to the grocery store and makes home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. And that's why it's America's #1 meal kit. Go to HelloFresh.com/12success and use the promo code 12success for 12 free meals, including free shipping. Again, go to HelloFresh.com/12success, that's the number 12, and use the same promo code 12success for 12 free meals, including free shipping.
I wake up every single day. I am who I say I am, and I get what I get because I live in beast mode. Stop being gazelles. You're not average. You're not even good. You were born to be great.
What's going on, world? Welcome to another edition of the Secret to Success podcast. I'm your host, CJ, joined as always by the Bayesian sensation, Mr. Carl Wesley Phillips.
What's going on, y'all? What it do?
Man, I got Dr. King in the building, head shining like he just put Carmex on his head. Like he just put Carmex on his dome.
Carmex.
Hey, man, I'm just sweating a little bit, man. I was up here dancing to some Sam Cooke. Bring it on home, baby. Bring it on home to me. They don't know nothing about that. That
I'm
Motown.
talking about bring it on home to me.
Bring it on home to me.
Listen, man, listen.
All them stimulus checks.
Hey, before I get to our next guest, let me bring in the youngest one so he can get back in virtual school real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, affectionately known as Trey, Carlos Quinney III.
What it do, Trey? Where you at? We missed you, man. Where you been?
Say school. All right, go for it.
Hey guys, welcome to Trey's Comedy Corner.
Man,
what's up, man?
Why shouldn't you write with a broken pencil?
Say it again. Why did what?
Why shouldn't you write with a broken pencil?
Oh, why shouldn't you write with a broken pencil?
It's pointless.
Let's go.
No doubt. It's pointless. I love it.
Oh, man. And we have on deck a special family member.
It's been a minute.
And it's been way too long, man. It's hard to get a hold of him these days, man. It's a different tax bracket, you know.
Not the tax bracket.
Different zip code.
The dual cribs.
We have
Inky. I thought it was COVID because we normally hook up at Patchwork, so I thought it was COVID. I didn't know it was the tax coverage. I didn't know that.
Yeah. No, it's the tax bracket. The tax bracket. You know what I'm saying? We got Inky Johnson in the building. Ink, welcome, bro.
My brothers, what's up, man?
Good to have you, man. We got a very special announcement, but we'll say that towards the end. Ink, man, how are you? Good to have you back, bro. Catch us up, man.
Healthy, man. I'm healthy. Family's healthy. All is well, man. All is well.
I love it.
Great to be on.
Any COVID challenges that way? Y'all still hopscotch and skating?
Yeah, everybody been good, man. You know, safe, healthy, can't complain. So we good.
Yeah, Maul tried to catch me slipping, but Maul came down here to Atlanta
with the COVID.
Stayed in my house 3 days with the COVID.
With the COVID.
Bruh, sleeping with the enemy.
Hey, you know, me and CJ, now Ink, anybody that know us know that everybody say, man, Jamal and CJ, boy, they thick as thieves. Man, you see one, you see the other.
Yeah, what happened?
All right, so I called COVID, so it's only right that
for him to catch
it too. You know, am I my brother's keeper? Hey, E, am I my brother's keeper? But hey, Ink, what he not telling you is, I've been on lockdown the whole time. My family and I mean, we haven't went anywhere. Yeah. The only time I caught COVID was driving to go see him. Because he was like, why don't you, he was like, why don't you come here and sign your books?
You got to share it then.
Yeah, he the reason why I caught it.
Make COVID real.
Hold up.
Make COVID real.
No, you was coming down here to sign them books, dog. I don't know what you was doing. Hey, but why? Hold on.
I told you, though, to send the books to my house. And he was like, no. He was like, no, man, you come on here, man. We can kick it, man.
I'm going to send 5,000 books to your house, dog.
Bro, you could have sent like half of them to my house. I was okay with that.
Ink, this how he got me, though. He came down, right? And he was like a little, And I was like, hey, say, bro, it sounds like you got a little. And he was like, nah, I got like a little nasal. I said, oh, okay. So I was like, I ain't trusted. You know what I'm saying? So I called the lady. She came by the house, did the rapid test, and he passed. I don't know how he passed, but he passed. So I was like, okay, I kind of let it ride, right? So then, like the next day, he had like a little mini, and I was like, yo. And he was like, nah, I get it every year. It's like, you know what I'm saying?
You feel me?
Inky said he get it every year.
COVID every year.
I was like, man, you know,
allergies.
Georgia, the allergies from Georgia.
Yeah, I'm like, as soon as you cross the state lines, it just so then it gets worse. The next day, he like, man, I can't smell nothing. I'm like, okay, hold up. I think baby girl Tess might have had a little glitch. And then he goes in the garage and picks up some, what was it, Mar?
Some bleach. It was a bottle of bleach.
He was like, nope, I can't smell nothing. And then handed it to me talking about, can you smell it? My whole nostril hair is burnt out. I'm like, and then, but like I said, man, all is well that ends well. Thank God, Maul is in the best
COVID
shape.
Coverage real.
Yeah, for real, bro.
It's all good. You didn't catch it though, so you good.
I just thank God my kids didn't catch it, my wife didn't catch it, so nobody got sick from it.
Yeah, no doubt. But no, in all seriousness, obviously, man, everybody be safe out there. Continue, distances as much as possible, washing them hands. It's just like, it's like being out there in the landmine. You just anywhere you step these days, you like shoot. So we just
now fair or foul though. Here it is, fair or foul. Here it is. CJ talking about that. I had that little tickle in my throat, a little cough, and I was, my nasal. I couldn't smell anything.
Yeah.
And I normally should be like, hey man, look, why don't you just chill out in the room in my house? Man, you stay away from everybody, whatever. This dude talking about hey man, let's go get some sushi.
Right.
He's like, let's go get some sushi.
You said you can't taste nothing or smell nothing.
No. And he take me to a sushi restaurant. I mean, who does that?
You told me it was
sushi.
Hey,
the sushi gonna make you feel better.
You know what though? You convinced me that it was a sinus infection. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, so then we was Googling because he used the Flonase. And so they said Flonase could take away your sense of smell. So we really did think we wouldn't have been reckless like that. We got tested the day before. She was like, yo, everybody good.
Yeah.
So anyway, man, all's well that ends well. Maul is beat the COVID. Now now fair foul. He like, yo, let's go to Italy. Let's go to Jamaica. I'm like, bro, hold up. Some of us still, you know what I'm saying?
You know, Maul got that. Maul got his own personal vaccine.
Hey, exactly. I want to say that it's a lot of money on this podcast right now. I'm gonna tell you 2 reasons. One is Inky. Inky, lately I've been seeing you just sitting by a creek, and I said, man, what level of paper do you got to get to where you just go stare at the rumbling creek? Because I ain't at that level.
That's my little walking path. See, that's my walking path, man.
Hey, it looked like you was sitting. And it looked like
Sitting
you
on the
had
dock
all
of
the
the
time
bay,
in the world.
wasting time.
Hey, see, my
Wasting
kids saw,
time.
I was on Instagram and I was looking like during COVID, and I was looking at something, you know, and it was this whole big old, you know, all these air balloons and slides and all of this.
Mm-hmm.
And then my kids, they was looking, they said, man, Mr. Inky, he's at a theme park in COVID. I said, no, baby, that's his backyard.
Backyard. Yeah, backyard.
Oh, my kids looked at me, Ink, like I got some work to do, bro.
Carl, you got the picture that I sent?
You got Naomi
Okay, I
Okazaki
got- wait one
right in
second.
your backyard.
Oh, yeah.
We ain't got that, though. We ain't got a theme park.
Listen, now
You ready for it, C?
Yeah, wait 1 second. Let me tee this thing up. Okay, if y'all remember several episodes ago, Maul was Inky, they told Maul at Chase Bank, we can no longer service your accounts at the local branch. Unfortunately, we don't even got enough money in this joker to fulfill your
in the
request.
Chicago branch.
In the Chicago branch.
branch.
Ink, this is a true story. They told him, look, we can't. You got to go to National now. And they called up they called up Bob Chase on the spot. You know what I'm saying? Like
Bob
just to help
Chase.
him out. So
Is his real name William Chase?
I don't know what his name is. Bill. You know what I'm saying? So the other day, I don't know, me and Ma was talking about something on the FaceTime, and I seen some chocolates or something. And I was like, oh, you still got your Valentine's chocolate? And he was like, oh, yeah, I never ate it. And I said, oh, wow, I didn't know, you know, Camille got you something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I'm thinking, okay, like usually the guy gets something for their girl, whatever. At least my girl ain't get me nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's not that kind of party over here. So I said, man, Camille
That's Sweetie's
got
Day,
you.
see? That's Sweetie's Day.
Oh, okay. When is that?
Day.
When is
That's
that?
October. That's
Right.
October.
Same day as Father's Day. Neither one of them get no love. Hey, so Ink. So I said, oh man, that's dope. We was on FaceTime. I said, that's dope. Camille got you that. He said, no, this ain't from Camille. I said, oh, okay, Carl, go ahead, show the picture.
Wow.
Wow.
Chase Bank just sent Maul a Valentine's gift. Look at my face. Look at my face, Inky. My face trying to figure out
Why you didn't get a birthday card from Chase?
bruh.
Boy, loaded.
Bruh, they done sent this man
Wow.
Will You Be My Valentine from Chase Bank. How much money you gotta have in the bank to get a Valentine?
Hey, fair or foul, E. You put tons of money in their bank and they give you some old $35 chocolates.
Oh man.
With your money. Yeah.
That's right, Ma. They spent your money on your chocolate.
Your money on your chocolates. Here you go.
Bruh, a Valentine's from the bank, dog.
From the
like,
bank.
come on.
Pretty
Unbelievable.
nice touch though.
Man, one of these days I'll be on y'all level. All right, let's get into some stuff. Man.
Podcast.
Officially, you know what? I got a few directions I wanted to go with this, but I figured, you know, this is honestly what was just on my heart. Two things. One, Ma, if you could bring up the stat that you sent the other day real quick to the group text about the income disparity. I wanted to bring that up really quick. And also, I had a chance, Inc. It's Black History Month. So I started Black History Month with Emmett Till. You know what I'm saying? We went right, I'm talking about February 1st, Inc. We went straight to Emmett Till. You know, and Trey's getting to that age now where his brain is able to process stuff in like real time now. You know what I mean? Like he's getting to that age where you could have like real substantive conversations and he could follow and he knows what's going on. And it's crazy because this was yesterday you sent this, right, Maul?
Yeah, this was yesterday. I just sent it to you, Carl. If you want to bring it up on the screen.
got you.
I don't know if
Yeah,
you see one on the
please.
screen or not. But
And I looked at this, and at the same time, I had...
It looked identical when you first glance at it. Look like they got the same.
Just about.
It's just a zero off.
Well, that zero mean a lot. So Maul sent us a stat, and it said that this is from Fox News. Yes, Maul is rich, and he watches Fox News. You know what I'm saying? Maul on the other side of it, y'all. But it says America's racial wealth gap, and the net worth as of, I guess this is 2021, right, Maul?
Yeah.
This is
This was the other day, man.
The average net worth of a black family, Inky, is $17,150. The average net worth of a white family, $171,000. So, Carl, do the math for me. What is that? About 150? What?
153.
Okay, $153,000 difference there. Look at that.
It looks so close though. See, when you just look at it, it look like it's only. It look like we only. It look like we ain't off. We actually up by $50.
Yeah.
But when you look a little closer,
right. So,
hey, see, did you look at the bottom of that though, bro?
I got keratoconus.
Black History Month.
Black
History Month.
Happy Black History Month.
Black History Month.
So it's crazy, right? At the same time that Maul sent that, I was finishing up Black History Month, and the last one that we were going to that we were studying was Jackie Robinson. So we watched 42, and I had to pause it like literally every 10 seconds to kind of explain, what's going on, right? And again, I don't know, Ink, you got a son of this age. Carl, you got a son this age. Lil Jamal's a little younger, and so maybe a little premature for him. But I'm always finding myself trying to walk this balancing act of making sure he's up on game and also not like scarring him, right? And so as I got, and we don't do this often on the podcast, but I have literally, 4 other of the most prominent, high esteemed character black males that I think exist on this planet. And I wanted to have this conversation just so the world could kind of hear like barbershop talk, if you will, like stuff we would talk about as, black men with children who have to navigate what we just saw in terms of 17,000 and 171,000, and then how we are now navigating the world with everybody on this podcast being in the 7-figure range now, right? And navigating those worlds between, still having family members that, right, Ink, might be even that or lower, right? And still trying to navigate this world as a dad and bring your kids up on game and up to speed of what's going on, and sending them to the right schools and still making sure there's so many complexities. So I just wanted to open that up. Ink, I'll let you go because one of my favorite things to do on social media is go and watch your Instagram and see you and Ink. I text, me and Ink text all the time. That was the reason Trey started playing baseball, because I saw Ink and Lil Ink out there with the baseball bat, and I said, wow, I never really seen us doing that like that. When I came up, none of us were playing baseball, and Ink, that really inspired me to get Trey into baseball, and he loves it. But talk to me as Black History Month, I guess, officially closes what the world considers Black History Month. Anything that you did over that time, the conversations that you and Ink are having, and your daughter as well, as a family. How has that been going in your household?
Yeah, man, it's it's interesting because, like you said, like my son is 9, and so he at the point he asking a lot of questions, and so like even when I sent out the film that I sent, to you guys about the American Skin, like the joint was so wild that it made me challenge what I thought I knew, right? And so I was saying to a cat, he was like, "What you get from Black History Month and all the things that's been transpiring?" I said, it's made me challenge what I thought I knew in terms of you think you know something a certain type of way and you think it works. What I mean by that is, so you think if you tell your son, right, you do this, if you get pulled over and you in a car, Cop pulls you over, put your hands up, do what you're supposed to do. And that's going to guarantee his safety and his freedom. Well, if you watch it in the grand scheme, that's just not true, right? If we talk about the raw reality of it. And so now you can send them to the right schools. You can move them to the right neighborhood, right? You can give them access to the right resources. But that doesn't guarantee a certain level of freedom. And so we have to rethink what we thought we knew. And so even with my children, it's always constant dialogue, whether it's about finances, whether it's about perspective about cops, whether it's about perspective about people, whether it's about perspective about sports, neighborhoods. When you out, how do you process certain things, right? Like, I'm gonna be real with you. A situation happened with my son, right, at school, to where my man was sitting in his seat. Somebody dropped $50 or something. Like, our kids, we got our kids their own accounts. Our kids got money at the house to where we're teaching them. Like, when we go out, we let them take their own money, right? And you can't go over. Like, if you want something out of the store, you got to budget, you got to count it up, and you got to figure it out when you get to the register. It's not going to be $2 over and you look at me like, Dad, can I get the extra $2? No, you got to budget, you got to figure it out. And so they have cash sometimes, right? And so an incident happens at school to where somebody in the class dropped $50 and my son picks it up, right? And so at that point, when he picks it up, he just picks it up. And somebody says, hey, I see Ink with $50 in his hand. This kid supposedly lost $50. Boom, they send my man to the principal's office. They questioning him. They call us. We get to the school, so they tell us the situation. Such and such had $50. Ink sees the $50 on the ground. He picks it up, right? They didn't say he picks it up. They just say he had $50. Right. And so I say to him, Ink, what happened? Daddy, I saw $50 on the ground. I picked it up. I said, what did you do with it next? I gave it to the teacher. I said, he gave the $50 to the teacher? He was like, yeah, but we just saw him with it. I said, we give our kids $50. It ain't nothing for my man to have $50 and it'll be his $50 that he earned. You know what I'm saying? Not we gave it to him, like my man earned from doing some chores or doing something around the house. I said, so if you feel a certain way, if you feel you've been convicted or they looked at you a certain type of way, while we're in the meeting, state that. Don't let them change what you think. Don't let them manipulate the conversation. Express exactly how you feel, and then we'll break it down. And I think that's important in every aspect of life, because children can come up and they can feel a certain type of way based upon how we let them navigate the situations of life, whether it be with money, whether it be with conversation, whether it be with sports. And so I think we have to constantly press the dialogue, not just on the things that feel good, but on the things that are uncomfortable as well.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, and I agree with that. Yeah, you got older kids and you can get in here, but Ink, I guess the problem that I'm having is y'all see Trey. You know what I'm saying? My man happy-go-lucky. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not to mention, you know, Trey got a white grandma. You know what I'm saying? Got a black grandma. You know what I'm saying? He like, this is a utopia. You know what I'm saying? What are we talking about here? And I'm just, and again, I haven't even flushed this out of my head. So again, everybody out there, listen, understand that these are tough conversations to have even in our own head without flushing them out and saying the perfect thing every single time. But I'm just trying to give you my heart. I struggle because that's my baby, right? And like, he has this grand perception of the world of like sugar plums and lollipops. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's his reality. And I'm like, wow, like, I'm showing him Emmett Till and, you know, Jackie Robinson, my man getting spit on. They throwing stuff at him. His wife, you know, they getting booted off the plane. For the life of him, he can't understand why, hold on, they got a plane ticket, right? So how come they just let him go and he ain't go? No, Daddy, we go on the plane all the time and that never happened to us. And so I'm like, man, a part of me feels like, yo, you like introducing them to this. I guess I'm slowly trying to introduce him, but at the same time, I don't want to break that carefree spirit and that optimism that he has about the world, right? And so I'm just trying to find that balance. E, you got older kids, and Maul, you as well. I want you guys to chime in here as well and just, you know, talk about how you navigate that situation. And then, Carl, you can talk about it from your perspective as well. You're in a predominantly white neighborhood. Your kids went to a predominantly white school. And these are things, unfortunately, that we are forced to deal with on a daily basis, that they just don't go away no matter your income level.
Yeah. So I guess I would say, you know, it would, in a perfect world, I wouldn't have to talk about the roots. I could just talk about the fruit, you know, but we know a tree is only as strong as its roots. So I can't pretend that just because we are experiencing different fruits right now, that we don't all come from the same root. So we got to talk about history, because if you don't talk about history, we know that, it has a way of repeating itself, right? Now, I do think that I can do a good job of informing my kids of reality without necessarily being in our feelings, because I feel like there are times when, and I don't think there's anything particularly wrong with it, but I think sometimes the way I was introduced to it, because I was so close to people who had actually experienced that we dealt with more of the feelings part than we dealt with the facts. And then what to do about it. I don't think when I was introduced to it, I don't think everybody was on to what to do about it, Ma. They weren't on what to do about it. This what happened. And they was pissed about it, and rightfully so, they should have been. But I think what I try to do with my kids is say, hey, this is what happened. This is what happened to us prior to coming here. This is what happened to us during the time frame that we were here. And when I say tell a story, I say tell a whole story because a lot of our babies are being taught about racism without talking about abolitionists, right? A lot of our babies don't know that, again, Harriet Tubman didn't free black folk by herself. It was rich white folk who were part of the struggle. They don't know that when you talk about the bus boycott, that there were white priests and white young men who were murdered, alongside. They were considered to be what they call Negro lovers, right? And so we got to tell the whole story, that we weren't the only ones that died in our struggle. There were others. And so we can't paint a picture that one group of people are all a certain way. You feel me? We can't paint that picture. We can't teach our people that all black people, are to be trusted and all white people are to be not trusted. We can't teach that. We got to teach the truth. And so I teach my kids that whether we want to talk about it or not, the reality is something happened in Africa that allowed this to happen. Like this just didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like they just didn't come to Africa and just start scooping folks. There was folks who went in business with some of those folks who came over and assisted in that process. So we got to tell the whole story. We got to tell the whole truth, because if we only tell pieces of it, we don't put our kids in a position where they could thrive. So I tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me, Holy Ghost. You feel me? But then I say, this was our ancestors' reality. This was your grandma's reality. This is my reality. Now, how are you going to use this information to shape your future? We live in a predominantly, white neighborhood. I got folks that I'm talking about beat me down to speak. People who I got to be like, yo, man, we just talked for 30. I got to get going. You feel me? And then I got folks who try to pretend like they're looking at their cell phone when they go by me. So I can't make it like everybody is the exact same. I got to tell the truth, but then I got to let my kids know, you were, according to the Creator, you were meant to be the head and not the tail. You feel me? You were meant to be, above and not beneath. You were meant to lend and not borrow. And to Inky's point, I've taught my kids to be verbal. Like I said, I won't get on in the podcast, but I just had a discussion with my daughter that almost went into the last podcast. You feel me? But I just let my kids know, like, yo, I'm like what you said, Inky, don't be soft. Like, yo, you can like go at it. Like, don't, because if you soft in this world and you look like us, you could be taken advantage of, like flat out. So don't be passive and timid when they come on you. You speak your mind. So when my daughter's like, yo, you can speak to me, like, let's go. But at the end of the day, you need to be operating in facts and not in your feelings. You need to make sure that the information that you have is accurate. Why? Not because I care, but if your information is accurate, then you're going to be successful. If your information is not accurate, then you're not going to be successful. So we watched as a family just recently, Judas and the Black Messiah. We watched that as a family and we talked about it. You feel me? Like what parts you like, what parts you didn't like. Again, that's Chicago. That's our roots. So we talked about it, so I would just say, man, we got to do the whole truth. We can't be manipulative when we tell it. We can't tell pieces of it without telling the full truth. And for me, when I think of Emmett Till, that's really why I went and got an education, because I saw the grandfather and some of the opportunities he didn't have and how he wasn't able to really fight for his grandbaby because of those times where he lived, what was happening. And I was just like, whoa, E, you up north, bro. You in Michigan. There's some opportunities you have in Michigan that you don't necessarily have in other parts of the world, and you got to take advantage of that. So yeah, for me, man, it's the fruit and the root, man. You got to give them both.
Yeah, man, great topic.
Yeah.
You know, one thing that I think that's important, you know, and I always talk about this with my parents. I thank God that my last name is King. King.
That's big. Yeah, that's big. Yeah.
I mean, you know, it could have been anything else, but it's King. And what we try to show our children, you know, and I teach my son, you know, my son Ink is 5 years old. And, you know, he knows how to write his name now. And I remember in the beginning, though, you know, they had him writing just his first name. And I always felt that it was more important for him to learn his last name before he write down his first name.
That's good, Ma. That's good.
Your first name, Jamal. Great, you named after me, but your last name. You know how many people carried that last name? And not only somewhere down the road, wherever that last name came from, it was a reason why they got that last name King. I don't care if that person was a slave or what. He must have carried himself as a king, and they said, hey, King. And they named him King or whatever. But then what I love about my last name so much, and I try to teach my children this, is that our lineage, our history did not start in Mississippi.
Right.
It did not start in Alabama.
Right.
It didn't start in South Carolina. Our history goes way further, bruh. It goes back thousands and thousands and thousands of years. So you just got through talking about the whole story. Teach them the whole story, the real whole story, where we were all kings and queens at one point. Know exactly who you are. So that way you're not just happy with just some 9-to-5 job that you get. You know, we created medicine. We created the pyramids that's still standing today. Don't be happy with just getting a little, you know what I'm saying? That's why Ink, I ain't on that, boom, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, this kind of car, whatever. And I mean, don't get me wrong. It's still good to have those things or give them to your white spouse or whatever. But my history.
I want to give her a king bag.
You know what I'm saying? I want to just, it's more than just about buying her a purse or something, bruh. I want to treat her like the queen that she really is.
Yeah.
You know, my wife literally has queen DNA inside of her. And, you know, and I think that that's what we have to start showing our children and teaching them. And, of course, yes, racism exists, right? But the thing about it is I teach my children that, you know, I ain't got to teach them about racism. Trust me. Society going to do it unconsciously. My parents never taught me about racism. Well, I ain't going to say they never taught me about racism. The school I went to taught me about racism before my parents actually taught me about racism. You know, but, you know, when you just think about your DNA, and it's crazy, Carl putting this up right now. When you think about your DNA, Ink, it's so many people, bro. Your DNA go way further than just the people that you meet on your family reunion, bro.
Explain to the people just listening, more what we're looking at on YouTube, please.
Yeah, so just right here, and Ink, I remember you was at the conference, and I remember just telling you when I first found out about this. My family reunion, we found out about, they went through the Census Bureau and things like that, and they were able to trace this will from my great-great-great-great-grandfather. And he wrote this will in 1878.
Unbelievable.
Ink, he was born a slave, man. He wasn't just born a slave, but he lived as a slave. He lived as a slave, but then by the time this man passed away, before he passed away, he was able to accumulate 20 acres of land, and he left it in the will for his wife. He left a house, he left a wagon, he left animals. He had 5 children, Ink, which one of those are my great-great-great-grandfather, and he left each one of his 5 children 5 acres of land.
Unbelievable.
And he did all of that as a slave. Now, here it is now. I got in real estate, Ink, 20 years ago, and it was something about it, man. Whenever I got inside of a property, it did something, gave me goosebumps, bro. It was something about real estate that it just hit me different. 18 years later, we find out that my great-great-great-great-grandfather, bro, who was born a slave, lived as a slave, though, but died as a 1%er, bro. He bought real estate. He bought land. And he, not just for him, but he was able to pass it on to his children and his children's children.
Unbelievable.
And so that right there, and that's what I'm trying to tell people, like, it was something inside of me that I didn't even know was inside of me already. It was something in my DNA that I was born with that said that, boom, you got something dealing with real estate. So what else is inside of my DNA now? What else? It's not just real estate. It's something because what did his father do? What did his fathers do? What did the person?
And what the women too, Ma? The women, you know what I'm saying?
Bruh,
the women in the family.
Just the people, bro. I'm cool with just knowing that somebody, you know what I'm saying? I've been on a cruise ship for me and CJ was on a cruise ship together for about a week. All of us was. And CJ was out of there. He couldn't even take the waves and everything. I mean, my man was out. He had to take Dramamine and everything else. Here it is. You got somebody in your relatives, man, in your DNA who survived out of the slave trade and was on a ship for probably 3 months, 3, 4, 5 months, bro.
Easily.
Without no amenities. CJ he had a water bed. He had the suite. He had a balcony. He had a patio deck.
Tell the truth, Ma.
He had somebody bringing him food. CJ had room service and he couldn't hack it. He couldn't hack it for 5 days. But somebody in his DNA.
In my defense, I'm half white.
But somebody in his DNA.
Somebody in CJ DNA wasn't a sailor.
Exactly. Somebody, though, was able to survive that, bruh.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah,
somebody was able to. And so when I look at it, man, and then when I look at us and I tell my children that our DNA is stronger because they survived. Something happened. Think about the ones that didn't survive, bruh. The ones that got sick, the ones that didn't survive, they threw them over. Their DNA, the ones that survived, that means they were the strong ones. They were able, their blood, their heart, their everything was able to survive that. I couldn't even imagine it. They survived that with eating garbage or whatever they fed them. And then they came here and endured everything they endured. So I'm like, you guys, you are the product. You're not the product of slaves. You are the product of strong people with crazy endurance. People that could survive anything, people that endured anything. And you are the product of that. And the same blood they had in them is inside of you right now.
Yes, sir.
What you gonna do?
That's good.
So that's what we teach our kids, bro.
A special shout out to HelloFresh, our longtime partner and sponsor of this podcast. It's a trying time for many of us right now, guys, and HelloFresh could just be the solution to saving you both time and money. HelloFresh cuts out stressful meal planning and grocery store trips so you can enjoy cooking and get dinner on the table in about 30 minutes or less. Some meals can take as little as 10 minutes to low prep recipes and quick breakfasts and lunches. And these are ideal for your busy schedule. HelloFresh is also 28% cheaper than shopping at your local grocery store and 72% cheaper than a restaurant meal without sacrificing the quality. You're fully in control, guys. HelloFresh offers the flexibility you need with customizable orders every single week. You can easily change your delivery days or the food preferences that you have, or you can even actually skip a week whenever you need. With over 25 recipes to choose from each week, there's something for everyone to enjoy. All recipes are designed and tested by professional chefs and nutritional experts to ensure deliciousness and simplicity, and that's why HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit. Go to HelloFresh.com/12success, that's the number 12 success, and use the promo code 12success for 12 free meals, including free shipping. Again, go to HelloFresh.com/12success, and use the same promo code 12success for 12 free meals, including free shipping.
I refuse, see, like both my neighbors, and you remember the neighborhood. You haven't been here for a while, but you remember the neighborhood.
I remember the neighborhood.
Both my neighbors, see, have fences around. They got, dogs and stuff. We ain't got no pets.
Yeah.
And I remember Didi was like, man, dude, you just need to put a fence across. Like, you ain't got to do the sides because they both got it. And see, it was something that I refused to do. My kids, I determined in my heart, they're not seeing no boundaries. Something that simple. I was like, I want my kids seeing no boundaries. I don't care who property behind there. It ain't no boundaries for y'all. You go over there. And this is tough for me because y'all know I grew up super conservative. But I'm trying to push the envelope as like, I don't want you growing up with that mindset that like this is off limits and that is off limits and you got to be cautious and you got to be like, I don't want no limits. And people are like, man, but you ain't, no. And this might sound weird, but you go sled on the hill behind you until they tell you that you can't. Like, and again, y'all, I know this is not typically my speed, but I'm saying I'm pushing my kids to come out of that zone of like, yo, we can't live like that no more. We can't be intimidated no more. You ask for forgiveness, not for permission no more. So it's something that I've been super intentional. See, but watch this. Like, here's the truth now. See, because of who I am, my kids are still, I don't want to say this, like I got real good neighbors now, but my kids are very polite. Like they still will not go to nobody's house and not say hi to them, at least not that I'm aware of. You see what I'm saying? So there's still a part of me and how I teach that even though I'm trying to push them beyond, that there's only so much that I'm pushing. And see, this is the dilemma that to be honest, that I struggle with, because I'm still watching my daughter not speak up. And I'm watching my son speak up in an aggressive way. Like he got that edge on him. And I'm just like, whoa, how do I? So see, I'm grateful for the dialogue because I'm still stuck. Like I want my daughter to speak up more. I want my son to speak down a little bit. You see what I'm saying? What's the balance of it? But I'm really
just make sure you know the police.
Make
sure you know the police chief in the neighborhood. That's all.
It's tough, Carl. I think in my case, the best thing that I can do is try to lead by example, right? Like you try to, Trey looks at me for, how to look, how to eat, how to talk to a woman, how to treat his sister. Like, they are feeding off of you. So I can say, make sure that you're intentional in your behaviors and what you're doing. And even when you don't think they're watching. I was talking to Inky. I was talking to one of my good white friends the other day, super successful guy. It was funny because it was Black History Month. Obviously, we were having a conversation just about finances and things like that. And I was like, yo, it's crazy. Like, when you make it, like in every single person on this podcast y'all looking at, it don't matter how much you make. If you Black, you never really made it. And I'll explain. You never really made it because so many of your people are struggling still. So many of your people are still looking at you like, yo, what you gonna do? What's happening? Like, you gonna make this, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm here. And I told E, it was like, yo, there's a crazy sense of like, I don't know if it's survivor's remorse. I don't know if what it is. And again, it gets into my spirit sometimes where you like, yo, Maul, like, yo, we about to go to Italy and Toby performing and we about to fly over and you got people who late on their rent. We just looked at the stats, 17,000 as opposed to 170,000. I was explaining this to my white friend and he was like, wow, that's crazy. He said, me and my wife combined make about $350,000. He said, I got several brothers and sisters and they husbands and wives and all of that. He said, we the brokest ones in the family. He said, we make $350 and they be like taking up a collection for us at Christmas. They think we like in poverty. And I'm saying, but think about this, yo. Think about this. Again, when you make it, there's still so much of a burden. And I'm not saying that in a bad way because I'm grateful that God has blessed us as men. But there's still like so much to be done. Whereas for real, my man said it. He a white male. He like, bro, I wake up, my money's my money. I ain't got nobody hitting me for the Cash App on the reg. Ink, being that you have gotten to this level and you obviously now are extremely blessed financially, how do you handle, and you live in Atlanta, bro. I moved, so I'm good. Hey, you got to catch me when you catch me. You right here at the crib. I know they showing up like, hey, you know what I'm saying? So again, like, how do you balance that? Do you ever feel kind of that, not guilt or remorse or nothing like that, but just like that sense of like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm trying to say.
Oh yeah. That's one of mine. Just being real. That's one of my hardest challenges, man. Just being real. Like, that's one of the hardest things I face and deal with, just in my position, with my family, with my wife, my children. And, it's people that you care about. It's people that I slept on the floor with. It's people that I was in that 2-bedroom home, 14 of us.
Right.
And so that's one of the hardest, most challenging things. That keeps me on my knees more than anything. Yeah. Trying to figure out how to decipher, discern, and deal with those situations. And I try to do my best, but I still haven't mastered. It still bothers me. You know what I'm saying? Just being real. Because I tell cats all the time, like, I talk to my boys that play in the league, And some of them, like we had a conversation last week. One of my boys, he did an investment. He got back like 5.3 million on $1.5 million investment. And he was like, man, I'm about to buy my mom a house. And one of the boys in the group was like, man, I thought you bought your mom a house when you first got in the league. He was like, I didn't have to. He's like, my mom and her husband, they was good. Like she never asked me for nothing. And my man was like, well, I be having to do stuff for my family all the time. He was like, I'm doing this for my mom because I want to, not out of obligation. Right. And just thinking about situations like that as we try to navigate it, that's one of my greatest challenges.
Yeah, you white, your money, your money, your money. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what me and E talk about that all the time. And again, man, we sit up here and clown these athletes and, oh, these dudes made all this money and he broke. He ain't go broke just spending that on himself. He went broke because it's when you black and you make it, you still looking at the $17,000 for everybody else. And so that's, again, as men, and I don't ever want to make it seem like we playing the victim on this podcast because we would never do that. I'm talking to you guys as kings of how when you get to a certain level, there's still that burden, that pressure. Maul, Carl, E, y'all feel free to jump in. I'm still dealing with it. Like I struggle. Ink, you said it. I struggle with it. I'm like, yo, Ink, you got bread now. I know you got some loved ones, so you like, man, bro, they like $400 short on it. Let me just get them 10 G's. And you feel like that might make you feel better. But you know in your heart of hearts, that ain't gonna solve the problem. And so, again, I think we just, I don't know, E, Carl, y'all jump in. I'm frustrated.
Ma helped me, man. Ma helped me, you know, with the whole get a house for it. You know what I'm saying? Like that whole concept to get a property for it, you know, that whole thing helped me. And I'm going to tell you, it didn't help me to help nobody, but it helped me to say the best thing I could do for my son and my daughter, the best thing I can do for the people who are in my community is teach them how to be kings. Not be a king for you. You feel me? Like I'm learning that, bro. I had to learn the hard way. It's like, yo, me taking care of you, that I'm not even helping you because now you don't have to muster up the strength that you need to do what you have to do. And you're not even going to get the pub that you're supposed to get. Like there is when I walk into a room, Deion Sanders said it the other day. I thought it was the truth when we talked about it. And they was like, you know, so-and-so is the GOAT. He was like, MJ the GOAT, Michael Jordan the GOAT. And he was like, yo, when MJ walk in the room, we bow. And he wasn't saying like, Deion, you talk about prime time. Prime time won Super Bowls. Prime time is a Hall of Famer. Prime time got the jacket, bro. But prime time was just saying like, yo, from a man to like MJ is the epitome of like what that GOAT looked like. And not just in terms of a GOAT, in terms of winning, but a GOAT among GOATs. Like that other GOATs go, ooh, MJ in the room. You know, and so for me, I learned, yo, E, you not helping people by not letting them have their own castle. You feel me? Like, you could give somebody money, but you can't give a man respect. You can't make another man respect another man when you paying the bills for him. That's not how he get respect. And I don't care what you say. I don't care how much money we make. We all want to seem like we're contributors to whatever level that is. And so I started realizing from Jamal, like, yo, Maul said that more, and it would have been white males, he didn't say this, but white males became millionaires from real estate than any other industry. And so I was like, oh, okay. Well, then we got to teach kings how to be kings, meaning that you already a king. You just been in a society that's beat you down so much that you forgot you was one. So we got to teach kings how to be king. So now what I do through the assessment is go like, yo, this is where your strength is, bro. Here go your lane right here. So now you got to go dominate. And contrary to what people believe, see, because, you know, people don't be studying, man. So people think that, you know, you have to be a pilot to lead. Bruh, you could be a leader in whichever one you're in. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you could be a leader from whatever space you're in because you're needed. So what I've been doing lately is saying, yo, bro, where do you need to start? You need to start with knowledge, like learning what a king is. Where you need to start? With somebody investing in you. Like, I was ignorant, y'all. Let me tell y'all something. Man, I was so ignorant. Man, I ain't know no better. Y'all, I'm first generation, so I just paid off my crib. You know what I'm saying? I'm paying off my crib. My girl, you know what I'm saying? She got a security issue. She want to be whatever. Ma was like, E, why'd you do that? I was like, why I do what? You know what I'm saying? Like, I paid off my crib, bruh. He was like, bruh, that $300,000 you gave them, you could have used that to invest, and then you could be making money off that $300,000, and then you just be paying them. Now they got your whole 3 spot, and if you want some of it back, they're gonna charge you interest for it. Well, that was a king teaching a king. Like that was a king teaching a king. Like that's not how you do it. E, take that money and put it into some bricks. Take your 300 and turn it into 3 mil, and then you pay them off as you go. Like it ain't, you know what I'm saying? Don't let somebody take your money when you could be making money from your money. So now I'm working with other kings, and I'm saying to other kings, like, yo, bro, don't do that. That money that you would have spent on that, take that and put it in some. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put some money in a brick for you, give my money back, and I want you to do it for somebody else. So I'm saying I stopped trying to fix money problems, as you said, see, with a check, and now I'm teaching kings how to build their own kingdom. You feel me? I'm teaching, bruh, and here's the only time I give money. Like one of my homies, I ain't gonna say his name, but he went down, you know, he got put down for about 3 on some charges before, you know, he really gave his life to the Lord. So once I found out my man was getting that 3 bid, I was like, oh, okay, you know, his wife out here with his kids. So I was like, yo, Ma, we'll hire her. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll hire her. I'll make sure she's taken care of. So when you get out of jail, if it take you a year to get back on, I got you. You know, he used to be hitting me up. I was like, bro, you don't owe me nothing, bro. This is a king looking out for another king's kingdom when he gone, because I'm already knowing the deal, bro. If you locked up for 3 years, right, and your girl got to be out on her own, I'm already knowing it's hustlers, it's people who are manipulative. So I already know the way I look out for you is making sure she eating, right? And so when she come out, I already know you a king. You're going to take care of your queen when you get out. You just can't take care of her right now. So I got you. And when he got out, I owe you. I said, bro, you don't owe me nothing. I'm serious. Like, you don't owe me a dime. You don't owe me a thank you. I'm a king looking out for kingdoms, bro. That's what I do. I'm a king, bro. I'm not envious of another king. I'm not trying to tear no other king down. I'm trying to help a king build his kingdom. Why? Because if we got a community full of kings and kingdoms, bro, we going to be tight work. And so I stopped paying people's bills. And now I'm like, yo, I'm going to show you a king. And I'm going to show you how to be a king. And I'm going to show you how to do what kings do. And I'm going to show you how to build your palace. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to be coming to my palace. You know what I'm saying? Like, not that you don't want to come to my palace. Like, how am I going to mall crib? How am I going to see crib? Like, I don't mind. But at the same time, your queen when she leave your homie's castle, she want her own castle. She don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, she don't want to be on, we had a great time at Jamal's kingdom. She want her own kingdom. You feel me? And so, Inky, I just been on lately like, bruh, if you really got it going on, I'm going to help you with these properties. If you don't got no bread, or through the coaching program, we're going to get you tight. Well, if you just need a job, we're going to try to get you something through the solar company. You feel what I'm saying? Or we got Maul got a security. If you in Chicago, like for real, now I'm not paying people not to be kings. Some of y'all getting paid not to be a king. Somebody paying you off not to be a king. They paying you a little rent. They paying for you not to be a king, bruh. And you falling for the bait just so you can have a little shack. Like they paying you to be in a little shack and keep your kinghood down. I'm not on that. Now I'm saying to bros, where you need to start. You need to go to school. You need to get a trade. But I'm not going to pay you off not to be who God called you to be. I'm gonna demand of you to find out what your gift is, find out what your path is, and more. I will walk you through kingship school, but I'm not gonna rob you no more, giving you a check, and then now you some pitiful. I don't even know the titles other than the king. Like I don't know what the other stuff is. Duke. But whatever it is, we're not gonna do that, bro.
All I see you getting ready to bust out of that small T, so go for
it. Nah, bro. Nah, real talk. He hit it on the head, bro. He hit it on the head.
I told you,
man.
You taught me.
Yeah, he said the words right out of my mouth. But the only way
but Mar, you sent the graphic, and
yeah.
And I want you to from your, because obviously you are. Maul is the Black Dave Ramsey. We know that. You know what I'm saying? And I mean that in a very affectionate way. You've taught so many people, you know, financial independence. You sent something after that saying that, wow, that bruh,
Yeah, I read.
It was on the. Yeah, go for it. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So just to go back to that, man. When I saw that, I was just like, oh my God, bro. I'm like, we got some work to do. We really got some work to do. When it's so crazy, when I see things like the divorce rate, I remember a few years back used to be 50-50. 50% of marriages end in divorce. And then now you look at it, it's like something like 55 or 50. It's well over 50%.
And that's just divorce. That ain't who ain't happy.
Yeah, that's just divorce, bro.
Now you talking about 99.
Right. And then COVID just exposed.
It might be just the 5 of us.
Knock on wood. Don't do us like that. Don't get us in trouble.
So that just, man, these little statistics, bro, Inc., man, they bother me, man. And I think, it's so crazy, man. I remember I had a prophet. It's actually Camille's uncle, right? He's over this huge church, and he's always spoken the word in Camille in our life. When we were, just dating, bro. We were just dating. We was at this church service, and CJ knows all about him. We were dating. He called us up, man, in front of the whole church, and he was just like, and then we was just dating. And of course, I was feeling but he was just like, you two. He's like, you two are my millionaires. In front of the whole church, bro. He said, you two are my millionaires. He said, you don't know it yet, but people are going to bring their most prized possessions to you guys. Bruh, this was 10, 12, 13 years before we even opened up the daycare. We think of prized possessions as money. Oh, man, I'm about to be a finance guy, and I'm about to we about to open up this. But he was talking about people's children. Never would I known that, oh man, he gave me I don't even have my wallet on me. He said, son, I want you to have faith. He gave me a $5 bill. It's so crazy. I got this shirt on. And he wrote on the $5 bill, my legacy. And he told me, never let this bill out of your pocket. He said, you're going to be hungry sometimes. He said, never let this.
Remember that one time I was like, Ma, you got some cash? Ma was like, he opened up his wallet. I said, hey, now's the time, bro. Give it up.
Trying to reach for my $5 bill. I said, man, I done had this $5 bill in my wallet, and it's got written on it, my legacy.
I said, right now, give it here.
About to be CJ's legacy.
Hey, I just told you already made it, bro. The 5 ain't it came to fruition. Pass it on. I need it.
Yeah, get that 5.
Let me put it in my wallet. Let me put it in my wallet.
So years later, of course, he told me and Camille that we was gonna own real estate all over the world.
Wow.
And then he said this when I was probably about 18 years old, man. Can't make this up. And then he told me maybe 2 years before I got with you guys. I was just going to the conferences. He told me about how God was about to just bless me. And he said, Jamal, make sure you always have a heart for the people. That's one thing that always stand in my, always. He told me this, man, and it just resonated with me. Always have a heart for the people. Always. He said, never get away from that. And so when I see stuff like America's racial wealth gap, where the average net worth of a black family is $17,000. And the average net worth of a white family is $171,000, man. My heart hurts, Inc.
I ain't no mathematician, but I think that's 10 times the amount.
Inc., my heart hurts. And the reason why it hurts is not because I'm on money right now, E. I'm not on money with it. Right. I'm on that wealth. What does it do to quality of life for your family? The quality of education, Inc., for your children.
Healthcare.
It's so much deeper, bruh. The number one way how a person historically send their kids to college was through the equity in their home. So you get a lot of homes with a lot of white families with this wealth, right? Because your net worth is not necessarily what you get in your paycheck. It's your assets minus your liabilities, right? And that equals your net worth. And so this was something that I broke down on Carl. When Carl was talking, Carl was like, yeah, Jamal, I'm making X amount of dollars. I'm doing real well with this. And I was like, Carl, what's your net worth? You ask 90% of blacks, what's their net worth? And they have no clue. And the reason why a lot of them don't have a clue about their net worth, Inc., is because they don't have any assets. They just got a lot of liabilities. And your gym shoes not considered part of your net worth. Your car, your car, your watch that you got and stuff like that, man. So, but what I showed Carl was like, he didn't even know what his net worth was. But then I said, okay, cool. We gonna work on that. So Carl's first building, it had and I'm just gonna round them off, Carl, about $100,000 of equity in it, right? Boom. Carl, your net worth now is $100,000. Boom. He went on the second building. That was like 100,000+ equity. Carl, your net worth now is over $200 and something thousand.
Amen.
And then all of a sudden, Carl got his third property, bruh. He got his third property. Then it was like, okay, Carl, now your net worth is almost $400,000 off of 3 properties. So Carl went from that stat, which I'm not saying, Carl, you was in the 17,000, but I'm just saying.
I went too far.
All right, but
Have
he
you
went
ever
from
seen how E pay us?
He went from Carl went from that stat.
Might have been 19.
With E paying you.
Hey, Inky, they got to work for it, Inky. They got to work for it.
So
You
now
got to
Carl,
earn it, baby.
so now Carl went from that stat, bruh, just that quick, off of 3 properties, ain't Carl now? But like I said, it wasn't about the money. It's about now what Carl can do for his wife. It's about now what Carl can do. Now we talking king talk, right? E, we talking king talk.
Yeah,
now Carl can do so much for his
talk that
2
king
for his
talk.
2 children. It's bigger than money. That's why I'm not even on money. I'm on legacy. I'm on wealth. I'm on the things that it can do. You sitting, I'm on that sitting by the river watching the sunset, Inky Johnson style. But it's creating wealth that allows you to do that, man.
Yeah.
And then in return, Ink, your wife, man, is gonna look at you different. Ink, while you sitting there looking at the bay and you just sitting there, bruh, and you reflecting and your wife is secure, everything is clicking, man, your wife looks at you with a different kind of look, bruh. Look, she looks
Like
at
she
you
ready to
as
get
a
her
king.
stimulus checked.
She looks at you, right?
She looking like shit. That's that look, Ma. I love that look.
That's that look. Bro, ain't your kids, bro.
The look of love.
Ain't your kids are looking at you like a king, bro. Like
I got
a
to
king
put up with this,
out.
Ink. I got to put up with
I
this,
can't
Ink.
mess with this dude right here, man. Y'all know this. Hey, whatever y'all hear on this podcast, you get CJ outside of the podcast, multiply it times 1,000. That's
Hey, Ink, that's why he only get 20 grand, because stuff like this. He getting fined. I got to keep finding him.
I started off at 6 figures, Ink.
He
Watch
started
this.
off at 6. I
Hey,
kept
C.
finding him.
Go ahead,
I had
Carl.
I remember somebody sent a review, and I was just reading it. And I'll be honest, we don't really do that no more. But somebody has sent this a negative review, y'all. And the person was like, man, I could sum up this whole podcast for y'all in 2 lines. It's a bunch of dudes that figured that they made it, and now they're just telling us about it. And I was like, yo, I think you intended that to be a bad thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's probably one of the biggest compliments that we've ever got.
Ever. That's all we doing. For free.
Man.
And not trying to hustle nobody, manipulate nobody. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he right. Yep.
Maul, listen to what I'm saying. The change is the information. And that's what I'm saying. Everybody that's listening to this podcast, like you already halfway there because you were hearing it. You putting this in your environment. I'm going to go spiritual for 2 seconds. I was doing a little devotion with the kids this morning, and it talked about my man that his daughter had died, and Jesus went and healed her, right? And see, the thing that blew my mind, you in the environment, when somebody talking like a stratosphere above you, Maul, you don't have a choice but to elevate. So Jesus walked in the room and was like, yo, she ain't dead. Y'all confused. I don't even know why y'all crying. She not dead. He on a stratosphere that they don't even understand. She alive. She sleep. So let me just show y'all real quick. The rest of y'all that's crying, I don't even want y'all around because y'all not ready for this stratosphere. Those of y'all that could potentially be on this stratosphere with me, Peter, James, John, Mom, Dad, come here with me real quick. Y'all sit down. Little mama, get up. All of a sudden, she gets up. You see what I'm saying? Now, Maul, the 5 of them people that was in that room, bro, they walk out of there different, but it was because they were at a level to just be in the environment of his stratosphere. Bro, I'm trying to say I want to be in the environment of this stratosphere. Everybody listening to this podcast, I'm telling y'all, you got to do what you need to do to be in the environment of it because you get this close to it. I'm guaranteeing you it's going to change. I'm not going to sit and watch Maul grow. I'm not going to sit and watch Inky, EC, everybody else grow, and I'm talking to them every week. I'm not going to sit here and just watch them grow and not do something. So I'm challenging everybody that you listening. Those of y'all, I talked about this before. This just entertainment for y'all on your commute to work. Like seriously, y'all might have to go sit outside and cry with those this morning. But those of y'all that thinking that she could get back up, come on, man. We about to go wake her up and take a whole lot of people with us that's ready. But You just got to get in that environment, man, to stretch your mental. Like, don't stay on the same place. If y'all still talking about Cardi B and all that every day, like, don't stay on the same. Well, let me say this. Talk about Cardi B and what she investing in.
Absolutely.
Talk about her investments and how she moved from what she was doing to where she at right now with her own specials on Netflix and all that. Talk about that. Don't just talk about music and all that. Come on, y'all. I'm done.
No, that's good, Carl. That's real good. Ink, man, I know for you, it's been a crazy journey, you know, just getting to where you are. One of the things that I love about, you know, all the fellas here is especially, you know, as you look at Ink and Maul in the game, you guys don't feel the need to impress anybody. I want to talk about that, Ink, because it was years that went by, and I never really asked Ink. I was like, Ink, why you wear just a regular polo when you speak? Like, no logo on it.
I'm talking the blue joint.
No, every
time I saw Ink,
I'm like, Ink, I don't even know if that's like Izod.
Hey, Ink, you know tell him, because you got your Superman costume up under it,
yeah, listen. And Ink would just wear that every time, and I was like, yo, he just had on some slacks and like some black shoes or something like that. And, you know, it's crazy to me. And again, you know, I think the dope thing about this podcast, Ink, is that we can get to kind of like some of the secret to success that you may have and some of the underlying things that you think. But, and again, Maul mentioned it. No disrespect. And I understand sometimes we need to be inspired by it. But as black men, right, when I go online, I see a lot of the ones who making it, you could see they making it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to let you know, like, this what I'm on, right? And you know what? It's crazy, man, because part of you like, okay, that's cool. Like, I'm not mad at it. Trust me, you flying private or you got, you know, a bunch of money and you got a bunch of cars, you know, if that's what you want to do, show it. But I feel like sometimes the intentions behind that can have a defeatist mindset to the rest of our black men, right? I'm just being real. Like, a lot of our black men, like, we internalize that, right? And we go, man, if I ain't got that, then I'm, you know, then I'm not on that level. And it can be a defeatist attitude, right? And so if you talk to any of them who actually do it on the reg, they're going to be like, I'm just trying to motivate and inspire everybody. And maybe they are.
Right.
You have chosen Ink.
But like that, though?
No, I'm saying, here go the thing, though. Maybe somebody is. Again, I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying this group chooses to do it another way. I'm just being real. Like, if we do stuff big, I mean, it might not ever see the light of day. You know what I'm saying? But it's fine. We choose to inspire and motivate and inform in a different way. Ink, I finally came to Ink and I was like, oh, I don't know. I don't want to be rude because this is my brother. I love him to life. But like, Ink, what? Is there a story behind the shirt? Like, is this like your Maul grandfather wheel? This is like you got your grandfather wheeled you a polo. You know what I'm saying? That you just like, look, I'm rocking this every time I speak.
It's got sentimental value.
Yeah, it got sentimental value.
Real,
but Ink, man, you do what you do in such an incredibly humble way, but yet it is so inspiring. Talk to us just as a black man, how you balance. Yo, I want to show that I'm blessed and God has blessed me, and at the same time, I'm not trying to stun on anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you balance that as a I don't want to call you an influencer. I hate that word, but as somebody who people look up to. Let me say that.
Yeah, the voice of this generation.
No doubt. You know, man, I'll never forget. See, we was with an older cat. He used to come like by our house every day. Like, we had a garage up working out, and he would come by. You know, and he would joke with us, play with us, say certain things. He'll stay probably like 5 or 10 minutes every time he saw the garage up. And one day my man came by and we was cleaning up and I was with my cousin and he was talking to us. And he was like, yeah, man, I'm about to go in the hospital. And I was like, the hospital? What's going on with you? And he was like, yeah, man, I've been battling this cancer for a minute. Been battling stage 4 cancer. Wow. I was like, you done had cancer the whole time? You've been coming by here joking with us and all that? You been had cancer? He's like, yeah, I've been had it. I was like, man, that's wild, man. And he was like, yeah, I met a lady the other day, man, and she did something for me. Like, it was so nice. It was beautiful, right? And he was explaining what she did for him. And my cousin say, yeah, man, she gonna be blessed for doing that. And my man responded, he said, "No, that's the blessing." And my cousin was like, "Nah, like she gonna be blessed because of what she did." And my man was like, "Nah, that's the blessing." He was like, "Just the fact that you in the position to be a blessing, that's the blessing, young blood." He said, "It's not that you do something for somebody or you show people this or you say I did. Just the fact you in the position, that's the blessing. And so just the fact that I'm in the position to be on the stage, that's the blessing. I ain't got to say, I ain't got to flex, I ain't got to front. Just the fact I'm in the room and I've been trusted by the Creator, that's the blessing. And so the gear, the attire, that's the furthest thing from my mind. I dress like that, so I don't even got to think about it. You know what I'm saying? I want to think about purpose, mission, connection, how I speak, how I'm transit. Like I'm thinking about what really matters. Like, bro, I got so many black and blue shirts. Cats be like, man, like why you wearing? My wife used to ask me, why you wearing the same shirt? I'm like, so I can think about what I need to do, right? Yeah. But I look at it different. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because of what I went through to get to where I am, like I just view it different. Like I told the cat the other day, cat was like, yeah, Ink, like it's easy for you to speak, bro, because you got a paralyzed arm. I said, you want to be in the hospital? I said, you want to almost lose your life too? You want to go through 2 years and get a needle stuck in your back with dye getting shot down your back? You want to go through that every day for 2 years, 7 days a week?
So you can speak.
Hey, so you can speak? You want 6 incisions down your left thigh? You want them to take the main artery out of your chest too? You want to go through that so you can speak? Yeah. You want to get cut on the left side of your neck, the right side, twice through your right ribs, cut out your right pec too? You want that too? Because cats want the glory, but cats don't want that pain and that opposition. And so when I think about walking into a room, I think about all them hospital visits to the Mayo Clinic, right? When I walk into a room, I think about when a cat used to lay me on that table and shoot that long needle in my back, and I hated it, bro. Like I hated it. Like it hurt, bro. Every time they put that needle in my back, bro, it hurt it, right? I think about every time I walked in that room and they put them tubes in my rib and they stuck that breathing machine in my mouth. You know what I'm saying? So when I speak in a cat like, man, great job, I'm like, bro, I went through hell to get in this position. You know what I'm saying? I think about when that 18-wheeler ran me and my wife off the road when we was coming from Murfreesboro, right? And I thought we was finna lose our life and nobody knew about it. And I had just spoke 3 times in a church, right? And my wife cried the whole way back to Atlanta. When we get to Atlanta, she said to me, I don't never want you to drive ever again anywhere, right? Then I started booking flight. I wasn't even flying. I was driving everywhere, right? 18-wheeler run me and my wife off the road after me speaking 3 church services back to back. My wife cried all the way back to Atlanta. We get there, she say, I don't never want you to drive ever again. You want that too? Right? And so when I see a cat doing all the, I call it extracurricular activity, I'm like, hey man, do what you do. You know what I'm saying? But for me and mine, you know what I'm saying? I think about it differently.
Yeah, you know, see if I can, I know that some of them cats is listening to this podcast, so I do want to speak to it. I think we have to be careful. Let's just say, for instance, you know, for those of us who studied, you know, our history prior to coming here, we most of us know at least have heard of King Tut, right? And when you study King Tut, you know, and his rule after his father, you know, in the Egyptian, you know, ancient Egyptian rule, you know, one of the things that we don't talk about when we talk about King Tut is how much jewelry he had. You know what I'm saying? Like that. We don't, how much jewelry King Tut had? How many chariots King Tut had? But we don't talk about that. We talk about his leadership and what he did during his rule. Listen to me. A crown come with being a king. That come with being a king. Every king got a crown. Every king got jewelry. That's a part of being a king. Every king got a ring. You don't lead with. As a matter of fact, they asked Michael Jordan, like, what Michael Jordan, what's the best? He said, who the best player? Michael Jordan said, best player. You ain't never heard Michael Jordan say best player. Michael Jordan said, oh, you mean the best team? Oh, the best team was the 96 Bulls when we went 7. Like, you feel what I'm saying? So he not even talking about the rings.
Yeah,
or
but
banners.
let me jump in here real quick and let me ask you this, because you got a lot of white comrades now that got stupid paper.
Yeah,
and they don't do it. I'm just being real. Like, I'm just thinking of the dudes you went out to their cribs. And they like, I'm talking about
what
like,
I'm saying.
No,
that's what I'm saying.
The billionaire you had on, right? The billionaire, what was it, 14 billion or something like that?
Yeah.
Billion. That billionaire that you had on, that you brought to the group, bro, had on the same shirt that Inky wear. That same black polo shirt that Inky wear. He's a billionaire.
But I'm saying what happened, is because there was this gap in us being kings during the slavery time.
Right.
So that was the gap of us being kings.
Right.
So then when we got back into these young brothers that's getting back into their kingdom position, they don't know. That's why we just got to teach. They're leading with something that comes automatically with being a king. So you feel me? That come automatically with being a king, a crown and jewelry. That come with it, a car. That come with it.
Yeah,
so when you think about me and Ink in the speaking game, we both kings.
Yeah.
Right? But because we rule differently, you don't speak about Inky and jewelry and ET on jewelry. You speak about how we rule. You hear about and speak about Inky's humility. You know what I'm saying? And how through his humility, he's able to, you hear about his resiliency and his ability to bounce back after everything. We see him running in the house. You see him running downstairs and his kids and him both running, and then Inky jump on the couch and his son jump on the couch with him. You feel me? You see Disney World in the backyard, like Maul said. You see, and he ain't even talking about Disney World. You see him with his family. And so as kings, we show you our rule. Man, it's just so funny. And I can't talk about this right now. But there was a young lady in radio. She just hit me up and she was like, yo, I was with a so-and-so celebrity. And man, they posting your stuff all on Instagram. And I was like, yeah, they did something special for me. She was like, man, you so loved by so many in the game, E. That's my jewelry. That there's cats out here who feel like I wake up every day and eat a father that I never had. You feel me? Eat that inspiration that I never had. You feel me? That's our rule, not our house and our car. I can go buy a car. You can't buy relationships. You can't buy humility. And so I would say to my young brothers, I ain't mad at you. I get it. We were enslaved for a while. Our kingdomship was taken from us. So now that we back on the block, we just want people to know, King, we know you a king. We know you a king. You ain't got to show me your jewelry. You ain't got to show me your watch. You ain't got to show me you. I know you a king. But show me what makes you different than the next king. Maul can show you what makes him different than me. Carl can show you. C can show you what makes them different than me. And I can show you what makes them different, what makes me different than them. We are all kings with our kingdom, but we've built our kingdoms in a different way. You feel me? And so we don't need to show you the superficial stuff because we got the real thing, baby. And for a lot of you, you're leading with the superficial. Stop leading with the superficial and lead with the I don't know what you want to call it, the integrity, the kingship, rulership. I don't know what you call it, but man, leave that superficial stuff because what you're teaching kids, and I mean this, man. When a little man disrespected when he disrespected Cam Newton, you know, and when he disrespected Cam, and somebody said Cam shouldn't have said about his money, but that's why these little kids are thinking that, bruh, Jalen Rose said it. The dude that got his ankles broke by Harden, and they dogging him out, all Harden, he dogging him out. Man, Jalen Rose said something deep. I don't know the kid's name who Harden posted up, boom, hit the tray on my man, broke his ankles. But Jalen Rose said he was in the league for 9 years, made over $30 million. The average kid who want to dog my man out for the ankle boy, he ain't made 30 mil. He didn't make it to the league. He didn't get through high school without getting shot and killed, college without getting disqualified. My man made it to the league, made 30 mil, and became an NBA player. That's a 1%, bro. He's a 1%er. But because in our world, we making it about the money, we think a person ain't nobody if they, man, I'm tell you something. Before my grandmother left this earth, bro, she's run circles around these average dudes that's walking around here with stuff. Her contributions, her legacy, her integrity, she probably didn't have a high school degree. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? But was a servant among servants, a cook, a matriarch that took care of her family. In her absence of her, our family ain't been the same since. And so we got people teaching that you are a king because you got money. Bro, that's far as from the truth. Let me tell y'all something. On the tree of success, money is the lowest hanging fruit, Maul. Money is the lowest hanging fruit. On the tree of success, money is the lowest hanging fruit. Cars and clothes and jewelry and stuff. That's low hanging fruit, bruh. If you want to get to the top, bro, you talk, man, let me stop. But I'm just saying to all my kings out there, I'm not judging you, but every king got a crown. Stop showing your crown, your outside, your exterior stuff, your superficial stuff. Start showing our kids the other stuff you did to get to that stuff. Because I know you had to do something to get that stuff. Show the kids that. Glorify your character. Glorify the intangibles. Show those intangibles. Don't just show your money and your stuff.
Man, hey, see, I look at it like, you know, Ink was talking about he ran track, right? You know, Ink ran track back in the day. And I always tell cats, like, I don't have to show stuff because I'm running a different race than most guys are running. You know, I've never told somebody running the sprint, the 100 or whatever you want to call it, the 40-yard dash. I never told him how to do his stretch. I understand that he doesn't need endurance. Right? He don't need endurance because my man only running a short distance, right? When you're running a short distance, you don't need endurance. You ain't got to build up your lungs, right? You work out a little bit different because your race is so short. So you can go ahead and your thing is more so quick twitch muscles. You know, you're trying to get from point A to point B as fast as you can. But see, I'm running a marathon.
Yeah, speak.
And see, when you run that marathon race,
speak, Ma.
You know what I'm saying? You run that marathon, I need to build up my lungs.
Yeah, speak.
I need to make sure that my full body is in shape. I got to make sure I sleep a little bit different and eat a little bit different food because I'm going on the long run. My race takes so much longer than your race. So I feel people a lot of times, when they running a sprint, when they doing that little 100-yard thing, so they trying to get as much as they can because they race is going to be over with in what? In 10 seconds? They race is going to be over in 10 seconds. Yeah. But see, my race, I'm running that marathon.
Yeah, you're running a legacy time.
Yeah. Oh, my God. My race is going to take some time. I got to, see, you train for your race in a matter of probably a season. I got to train. I got to become a marathon runner. It don't stop. Everything that I do is geared towards my race. Why? Because I'm running for the long run. My race is made to, matter of fact, my race is not even, see, when you a sprinter, your race is against the person that's next to you. So therefore, that's why you wearing everything and you're doing everything you're doing because that's who you racing against, the guy next to you. So you're trying to show the person next to you, hey, I'm faster than you, I look better than you, boom, we about to race. But when you're running a marathon, come on, you ran track. When you run a marathon, your race ain't against nobody to the left or the right. Your race is against that clock. Your race is against time. And when your race is against time, bruh, I'm not worried about who's to the left of me, who's to the right of me. I ain't worried about nothing else but beating my own time, right? I'm trying to beat that clock. So for me, man, that's what I tell a lot of these guys, man, that's doing whatever. I don't need to hurry up and dress a certain kind of way or wear all this jewelry and stuff to let people know I made it. Why? Because my race is against time, and my race is going on and on and on. And the beautiful thing about my race is that even though it's a marathon, you might as well say, what's the one, where you handing the baton off to the next relay. So I'm running a marathon, but then at the end of my race, it actually turns into a relay, and I'm passing the baton on to the next generation.
Y'all boys deep, man. That's wow. I'm just sitting here more and just thinking about the fact that we just showed the wheel. You actually grabbed the baton, you know? So just crazy, man.
We should do a call real quick though. We should probably get on with some of the people in our circle of influence, you know, who may be also running a marathon, but they just getting caught up right now, you know, with social media with the person that's next to them, and not just do a podcast where we talk about it. But we probably need to work with our brothers and really walk them through the process so they can understand that there is a way to show people that they need to be rocking with you, and there is a way to show people that they can utilize your services without you having to show stuff, you know, like material things. Because that's it. Well, let's just be real. A lot of people do it because it's like, yo, I want you to see I got money, because we live in a society where people gonna rock with people if they think they got money. But I do want to show the young brothers that I can show you how excellence can get you that same thing. I can show you how. Yeah.
So
yeah.
No, I was just thinking like you choose the extreme that you want. You want to go to Dr. King, Mother Teresa extreme, or you want to go the Promise School extreme. I'm just saying there's either which way. There's ways to do this. I just did some research. I didn't know this. Kobe and his wife donated to the National African American History Museum. Like I didn't know that, bro. They put millions into that museum that furthers legacy. So whichever extreme you want, there's a way to go. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be the shallower middle ground.
Absolutely. Yeah, because to Maul's point, the shallow will bring shallow.
Facts.
Right? The shallow will bring shallow people in your life. You know, people who are only there for you for what you have, and when you don't have anymore, they're gone. So shallow begat shallow. So I'm not here to judge, but because I didn't have to grow up in this social media time frame. I didn't have to grow up in this. So it's a different time. But I do want to show guys and young ladies that there is a way to get what you want. And you don't have to go. I want to say that the easier route, the route that everybody is going, you really can do it through excellence and do it through character and leadership, and people are still gonna rock with you and follow you. I promise you that.
Yeah. I thought you said you had to have 3. No.
Well, I have to go right at 3, so I wanted maybe 5 or 10 minutes between to maybe get me something to drink or something like that before I have to turn the mic on. Yeah.
He getting soft in his old age.
Hey, Ma, he trying to run me all the way. Ma, he trying to run me all the way to the time, Ma.
You can't even get a sip of water.
Hey, you know what I will let you get?
Some Organifi.
Some Organifi. Shout out to Organifi.
Let me go get some Organifi.
Superfood green juice powder, keeping this podcast powered up. I'm sorry, E. Hey, man, you ain't the number 1 in the world because I was soft on you, dog. Shout out to Organifi. Make sure you go check them out. ORGANIFI.com. Promo code SUCCESS. All right, you're going to get 20% off your order. I'm looking. Y'all didn't even see this come in because the camera ain't on it. But hold up. I just got a special delivery, y'all. And I'm pretty excited. And this about to set me back quite a bit. Hold on. Oh, no, she didn't.
Oh.
Yeah, dog.
That's that Cake Ministries. That's that Cake Ministries.
Ouch.
Oh, Cammy Cakes.
Yeah, shout out to Cammy Cakes.
Hey, is it a chocolate cake or is it a yellow cake?
No, she got some in there. She got a yellow chocolate cake in there for him. She got it in there for him.
Oh, yeah.
No. Ma, let me know when you get yours, Ma.
I don't know if I'm going to eat mine, though. I don't trust it. I've never met a cake person that don't know cake. So, I don't know. She don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Look at it. Oh.
Hey, if you're in the Atlanta area, forget the beef and still rock.
Inky, you ever go to Cammy Cakes?
Nah, I ain't never been. I gotta go now. Y'all talking about
black owned, black excellence. Here in Atlanta, she got locations in all over. But oh man, Lord have mercy.
Come on. Get it in the camera though.
Oh,
I see it.
Yeah.
Inky, the best cupcakes you ever had in your life, dog.
Yeah,
man, she got some other stuff in here too.
There's a chocolate one in there tomorrow. I see it.
Man, I got a hoodie. I got a hoodie. I got water. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Cammy Cakes, man. Shout out to Andra for coming on the podcast. That was awesome having her on.
Great.
And make sure y'all support. Go check that out. Big time stuff going on. Also, E, if you have to go, I understand. We're going to spend a few more minutes. We got an exciting announcement.
Well, can you make the announcement while I'm here? Then I can leave. Don't just keep talking about nothing. Just say the announcement.
So now you want to
say more?
Oh, that's crazy. He breaking out everything. All right, then I got another thing from Amazon.
Hey, you can't have your cupcake and eat it too. Man, my brother Ink here. We've been talking for, I don't know, man, a minute, huh, Ink, about getting this done. And drum roll, man, I am extremely excited to announce the official launch of Inky Johnson's podcast, Serendipity. The podcast, man, clap it up, man. Big time stuff.
Let's go.
Ink, man, I told you a long time ago, man, the world needs to hear what you have to say. They need to hear you on a regular basis. You do a great job online. but just, man, there's so much information and so much knowledge you have in the podcast that I've seen episode 1. Listen, this again, you want to talk about another level of paper? Go ahead and tell them who the first guest is on the very first episode. Live right now, by the way, Serendipity with Inky Johnson, wherever you listen to podcasts. Ink, tell them who the first guest is, bro.
Garth Brooks, my man.
Wait, who?
Say it again.
Who?
Garth Brooks.
Come on, man.
Didn't he just sing? Didn't he just sing at the? Was that him at the inaugural? Yeah, he came in. Oh, he came in with the hat, the jeans. Yeah. He came in boss.
Yeah,
I wanted to go get some boots, and I don't even wear boots. I'm like, I need to get me some boots.
Hey, where else can you get an hour and a half of Black King Cloth Talk and Garth Brooks? Right here on Secret to Success podcast.
There it is.
Ink, man, I actually just watched it today. Incredible episode, first episode with Garth Brooks. Talk to us about the podcast. What can we expect from the podcast? If you can clue us in. I know you got a lot of guests. Talk to us about it, bro.
Yeah, man. So wanted to touch on like the whole basis and concept of serendipity is like what we was just talking about. When you see somebody and where they are, like I remember when I was a kid, I used to think everybody I met, where I met them is where they've always been, right? And I didn't understand it was a journey. It was a process. It was successes. It was failures. It was opposition. It was adversity to that. Like the first time I met Garth, I was serving. A man was doing a stadium tour, and I was serving because every city he would go do a stadium. Prior to doing a stadium and selling out the stadium, he had a foundation called Teammates for Kids, to where he'll partner with a local person and they'll speak to kids. And they were raising money to give to kids all across this country. I wanted to understand how it started. My man said he was a Roberto Clemente fan. Roberto Clemente died. It inspired him to start the foundation to help kids. You know what I'm saying? You talk Cam Newton, Eric Berry, Andre Ward, Isaiah Thomas, Bobby Wagner, like all these cats, more so about not just where they are. I want cats to understand the journey, the opposition, and the things that took place that led them to the people that we see them as today. And so that's the whole basis of the serendipity. It's basically about the journey. Like the first time Garth went to Nashville, my man in the Country Music Hall of Fame, one of the highest selling musicians of all time. People don't know the first time his town raised money for him to go to Nashville, my man got there, had one meeting and left. Went back to his hometown, hid out, didn't want to see nobody. Then he saw the people that raised the money for him. And he said, they didn't ask him like, hey, bro, where my money at? Like, give me my money back. Like, you back home. You told us you were going to take the money, go to Nashville, start a career. He said they didn't say that. That's how you know
he wasn't in the black community.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, they would have told him quick. Run me that. You know what I'm saying?
Garth. Hey, Garth. Hey, you see me? Run my paper, Garth.
Hey, Garth said they asked him, man, you going back?
Yeah,
and he said when they asked him that question, he went back. It changed his life. You know what I'm saying? And so people might see him and think, my man just went to Nashville and it was all she wrote. No, my man went to Nashville and went back home and then went back. You know what I'm saying? And so it's those stories that I want to share and get out to the world and add value, man.
Man, Serendipity, incredible content. It is out right now. It's going to release every single Monday. All right, so you got us on Thursday. Now you got Ink on Monday. Come on, man. What more do you want?
Nikki and Moose on Tuesday.
Of course. I'm about to get to that. So the other.
Sorry, Kyle.
The other. I got it right here. Don't trip.
Oh, let's go.
The other exciting announcement.
You gotta love it.
You gotta love it.
The other exciting, and I'm gonna just be real. E and I had a conversation. Tony, shout out to our partner Tony. Man, Ink, with everything that's going on in the world, you got the election foolishness, you got, all the stressors of COVID and, the economy. And man, it's like everywhere you turn and everywhere you look, it's like negativity or stuff that could bring you down. And we really just got to talking and saying, man, individually, our crew put in a lot of work, right? You see Inky out doing his thing. You see Toby doing his thing. You see, E obviously killing. You got Maul. And, our desire was to create a hub or a house where we could not only bring all of our content, but create new content, original content. And so, man, I am I got goosebumps, man. I'm extremely excited to announce the official launch of the Resonance digital network. And The Resonance is the world's first digital media company founded upon a mission of cultivating purpose and empowerment. Spearheaded by the world's #1 motivational speaker, The Resonance is a new kind of media company devoted to bringing you incredibly powerful and meaningful original content. Through podcasts, documentaries, short films, written content, and eventually live events, The Resonance will move viewers away from the oversaturated, gossipy content that fuels the internet into a crazy world of motivation, inspiration, purpose, and freedom. The Resonance very first endeavor will be launching an official podcast network anchored by Eric Thomas's very own Secret to Success podcast. The network will also include the launch of Inky Johnson's highly anticipated podcast, Serendipity, as well as the brand new hit podcast, Nikki and Moose, all right? An entrepreneurial podcast that focuses on business and branding, all right? We're also launching several more podcasts in the coming weeks. We got a ton of people on the line, man, who are right there. We're ready to get them on board and bring you guys everything from marriage to finance, everything you can imagine, all right? So several more podcasts added soon. Go to theresonancenetwork.com and get up to date with all the latest and greatest the network has to offer. Guys, we are going to be bringing you some incredible content. We got to a point now where, you know, we can finance our own stuff. I'm just being real. We got 2 documentaries coming with Maul. We got a documentary coming with Inky. Toby got a couple shows coming. It is going to be an amazing ride, and we're going to do it right here under the Resonance umbrella. And so we're just going to bring y'all incredible content. That's our promise to you, not only podcasts, but we're just going to bring you just an incredible, just diverse amount of content from our crew, from our group. And so we're really looking forward to that. Inky, man, thank you a million, bruh, for not only, you know, coming on today, but for trusting us to you know, help you with the podcast and get that thing up and running, man. You know, we love you, bruh. Need you on here more often.
Absolutely, man. It's all love, man. I enjoy it. Hey, I felt like I was in the barbershop.
Hey, listen. Hey, Ink, my back gets sore from carrying these bums sometimes. So, you know what I'm saying? My back. Maul thought I was sick on the boat from the motion sickness. I was sick of carrying them. You know what I'm saying? It's hard work carrying 4 grown Negroes around. Listen, man.
Hold on, dog. You said 4 grown. Who's the other?
Well, himself. Himself.
See?
No,
See?
no.
He caught himself up.
Trey. Trey the same height as E. Listen, man. Ink, man, love you, man. Love to the family, bro. Stay healthy, stay safe. Y'all go check out the podcast right now. Serendipity with Inky Johnson. It's the secret to success. We'll see you next week.
Let's go.
I want you to focus on here right now. Don't you worry about when you get home. You concentrate on this opportunity. You don't worry about tomorrow. You concentrate on this opportunity.